Latano for providing this opportunity today. The work of the Army Corps of Engineers to protect against flooding, sea level rise, and improve water quality is critical for coastal states and coastal communities. There are 5 priorities that I want to bring to your attention for the inclusion in the Water Resources Development Act. My district's Port of Los Angeles is America's busiest port by container volume. It is an economic catalyst for the region and the country. The port would like to see the reforms on how the harbor maintenance tax funds are allocated and used. I am grateful to Committee Chair DeFazio's leadership with his bill, H.R. 2440, the Full Utilization of the Harbor Maintenance Trust Fund Act. This allows for full use of the trust fund, which is a positive step for ports' infrastructure investment. However, there are additional reforms needed to address maintenance at our ports. First, donor ports like the Los Angeles and Long Beach ports need to be permanently recognized as donor ports and receive a minimum of 10% of the revenues they generate for the trust fund. In 2019, the Port of Los Angeles contributed $206.6 million in revenue to the fund, yet received only $5.85 million back. That's less than 2% and a local loss of more than $200 million. Second, we need an expansion of the eligibility criteria for highway maintenance trust fund expenditures to include in-water infrastructure. Currently, the Port of Los Angeles needs nearly $134 million in concrete and corrosion repairs on decks, beams, and mooring bits at our wharfs. Additionally, the port needs to fortify against seismic activity. Expanding the eligibility criteria can help ensure these critical projects move forward. In addition to the needs of the port, there are 3 broader policy considerations I'm asking for the committee's assistance to incorporate into WRDA. First, underserved communities often need federal assistance to conduct flood and storm damage reduction feasibility studies. Congress, through WRDA, should waive the non-federal cost share to lower the barrier for these communities to evaluate their flood risk. This would make it easier for these communities to develop both traditional and natural infrastructure solutions. Second, I would like authorization for the Los Angeles Army Corps to assess the impact of sea level rise and stronger storms off the coast of Southern California on our flood control infrastructure. Providing this authority is critical, since it can affect planning for future projects and identify new areas of need. And finally, there is a need for Congress to clarify through WRDA that natural infrastructure projects, such as coastal wetlands, should receive the same non-federal cost share requirement as non-structural projects, which is capped at 35%. This would eliminate the risk of unfairly burdening non-federal sponsors for green infrastructure alternatives, which can bring the co-benefits of increasing resilience from flooding and avoiding environmental harm. Thank you again for the opportunity to speak and to testify here today. I look forward to working with the subcommittee and your leadership to advance our priorities. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your testimony.